And as the most European of the non-European countries, Canada looks first to the European Union to build a better world. And that's what today is about. It's about building on our triple alignment of values, of interests, and of trust built over the years. And so today, this is a new era of cooperation. Our strategic Canada-EU or EU-Canada strategic partnership for the future will build a new and deeper relationship that brings us closer together, from defense to digital, from supply chains to security. We're launching comprehensive negotiations across multiple areas of cooperation, connection, trade, security, digital, climate. And this will make us both more resilient and more prosperous. In many respects, what we're committing to, from our perspective, Canada's perspective, is an ongoing process to an ever closer partnership that will bring our people closer together.
Here's some things I love living about Canada as a European. People here are so nice. And I know everybody says this, but I am from Germany and it's like a different world out here. Like, Germany is most arguably, or not even arguably, because it's a fact that Germany is probably the most unfriendliest country in Europe. Everybody always shit talking French people, but when I went to France, I was like, these people are so nice. I feel like it still got better over the years, but Canada is just a different world. People here are so much more hardworking. Now, this is good and bad, but I see it as good because I'm someone who has very big dreams. My dreams were always too big for Germany. Especially, I know there's a lot more self-employed people here. In Germany, it is kind of looked down upon if you decide to be self-employed. Noticed here, it's a lot more encouraged. A lot of things are very efficient here. I know everybody's always talking about a German efficiency. Germany is freaking old and a lot of systems are outdated. Everything takes so long. I literally had a problem with my sink. The plumber came the next morning at 7 a.m. and fixed it right away. In Germany, I would be lucky if the plumber comes within the next couple of days. I have to change my eyebrow pencil because the other one ran out and this is a different color, but it's okay, we're gonna make it work. Housing here is so much better in my opinion. I am from Berlin, which is like a big city. Housing situation over there is a war. I love the diversity here, especially when you go out and want to eat something. The food tastes authentic. It does not taste whitewashed. Everything, or most of the things, are open until very late, and the most important thing, they're open on Sundays. I hated that in Germany, that nothing is open on Sundays. And first of all, it's a war to go grocery shopping on Saturdays. Here, first of all, the grocery shops are open until very late. They're open on Saturdays, Sundays, which makes it so much easier. Next up is a personal preference, but dating culture, so much better here. And I know everybody's always like, oh my god, Vancouver dating scene sucks, Toronto dating scene sucks. I've done them both cities. I can tell you nothing compares to Berlin. And I've heard other stories as well, like not just Berlin, like other major cities in Europe. It's so funny because every time I meet somebody, they're like, oh my god, you're so lucky you're from Europe. Like, all the men are so handsome there. And I'm like, maybe they're handsome, but they're weird. Personality-wise, at least in Berlin. If you want a committed relationship, good luck. These were some of the things I really like about Canada. Let me know if you guys want to see a part 2. Also, if you're German or you're from Germany, I am not hating on Germany. Maybe I'm hating on Berlin though. It's like a love-hate relationship, so leave me alone. I was born and raised in Berlin. I am allowed to have my own opinion. Thanks for watching. See you soon.
In Canada, when you're driving on the road and you want to turn into another lane or shift into another lane, you take a look at all the mirrors. And if someone lets you in, you give them a nice wave in the rear view mirror to say thank you. Or if you can't do that, simply hit your hazard lights and let them blink a couple of times. Now, I have to be honest, it doesn't happen as much as it used to be happening when I was a kid. Back then, when you let someone in, they'd always wave to you or say thank you by sticking their arm out the window and giving you a thumbs up. I haven't seen that a lot. I let people in all the time because I practice defensive driving. But I would say I probably get a thank you 1 out of 100 times. And I aim to change that by reminding everybody, hey, we're in Canada. This is the best country in the world. Proud to be Canadian, and this is a Canadian cultural thing that I'd love to see growing back into the main society. And for the newcomers, hey, just try it out. It feels good, man. It feels real good.
Should Canada join the European Union? Obviously, from a personal perspective, I would absolutely love it because it would mean that I don't have to get European citizenship in the first place. I would just be European. I think every Canadian can agree that we need to move away from our dependency in the US. Around the world, people think Americans and Canadians are very much the same, and I think we are on like a surface level, but on a society level, we couldn't be more different, and I've spoken about this before. When it comes to how our country is run, we are way more similar to European countries. I would love it if we could just desert the US and make friends with other countries, and I'm sure many Europeans would also agree. What I do find weird, though, is I've read a lot of articles saying that Canada is essentially European. And while that is true, the Canadian demographic is very quickly changing. So I don't think that saying Canada is basically European is a complete picture of modern day Canada. But also Canada's not even in Europe. So it wouldn't even be the European Union anymore. Also, it's a blatant slap in the face to the countries such as Bosnia or Ukraine who have been waiting and trying to join the European Union and, are actually in Europe.
And as we'll discuss later, we are an energy superpower, third largest oil producer, fourth largest natural gas, largest hydro renewable base. We're committed to addressing climate change while providing reliable, affordable energy to our citizens and partners. In closing, we're here because of your invitation. Again, thank you for that. But we're here because of the moral and security imperatives of our cooperation in the Caucasus, in the Baltics, in Ukraine, across Europe, and also because of the immense potential for our partnerships to build a better, more prosperous, sustainable, and just world for our citizens. And I'll close with this. It's my strong personal view that as the international order will be rebuilt, but it will be rebuilt out of Europe. And so I'm very appreciative of the symbolism of this invitation. Thank you.
Canadians, join European Movement Canada. Now's the time to join. Now's the time to build this. It's fantastic that you've got Mark Carney as your new Prime Minister because he will build away from America and towards Europe, but don't just leave it to the politicians because this needs to be cultural on many levels. It needs to be about NGOs and citizens and small businesses and all parts of Canadian society building European and building with Europe. So let me give you 4 quick examples of why this is really exciting times now and all change for Canada. Firstly, science. Canada has just joined the EU's Horizon Europe program, which means that any scientists in Canada can now lead 10, 12, 15 nation multinational projects from this huge pot. You can be coordinators on that size program. Now, given the brain drain from the US, it makes Canada super attractive for American scientists to come to Canada to participate in those kind of programs and open up for them the kind of opportunities that they never had in the States, right? That's science. Youth mobility. The UK is now negotiating with the EU a youth mobility scheme. Imagine if Canada had the same for Canadian youth to get anywhere they like across Europe to build up work experience and career experience there. And you had more Europeans coming across to Canada. Okay, another one. The European Environmental Agency. Imagine Canada joining that and having shared data on environmental change, absolutely critical for understanding in particular the Arctic and the North Atlantic waters and the trade routes that go associated with that. Absolutely critical collaboration to be had there. Fourthly, tourism. You're turning your tourism away from the States, so is Western Europe. How about we have the Canadian and European tourism industries do mutual cross promotions and schemes? There's so much here now that can be built between Europe and Canada that is of massive mutual advantage, and it goes deeper than the politicians. It goes to NGOs and business exchanges and citizens working together, shared frameworks, all that kind of stuff. And it opens up so much mutual opportunity. So what would be European Movement Canada? Well, there's European Movement International, which was founded in 1948 by Winston Churchill and some others, in order to just bring Europe closer together, the like-minded countries closer together. But now there's European movement in France, in Germany, in Ireland. I'm the chair of European Movement UK, looking to get us back as full members of the EU. But there's European Movement Norway, looking to get them in the EU. European Movement Iceland, looking to get them in the EU. And polling shows that they're really up for it. And in fact, they're going to have a referendum on it by the end of 2027. So it really is for the North Atlantic band of Europe, all change and a lot of cohesion that should come together. And Canada can play its part, not just at the level of politicians, but at the level of citizens and civil society structures working on it. So if you want to get involved, there's thousands of people that have signed up already. I was kind of waiting for this election to happen to then go and push it further. Now it has, so the circumstances are ideal to just make this a mass movement in Canada, open up opportunities, open up the discussions, open up the dialogues with government, with Europe, absolutely everywhere, because Canada's changing and it's great to see. So elbows up and get involved.
I gotta go back to the United States tomorrow. But I don't think I fucking want to go back to the United States tomorrow. Does anybody in Toronto want to kidnap me and take him home with them? I won't be a very good fucking guest though. I'll be very, very rude. Are you motherfuckers ready for the best night of your life tonight?
Have you been to France?
Yeah.
You've been to Montreal?
I've been in Montreal, yeah.
You didn't love the French?
I love the Canadians.
French Canadians.
Yeah, I'll take them.
You love Canadians, period.
I love Canadians, period.
But do you love French Canadians?
Yes, because they are Canadian. But French, bro.
Not into French?
And nobody is.
They make great wine.
Yeah.
That's not true. People go to Paris every year.
Yeah, but they leave.
So when I ride around with my bicycle, it's just really amazing of how friendly people are when you stop at the intersection at red light, how they come up to you and they compliment you, and they, or in a very nice way, ask you to take a picture. Sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't, because just when they ask me, the light turns green and I drive off. But in any case, they're always very, very friendly, and the cars are considerate to the bike riders. So they have a lot of bike lanes, which is really fantastic. The restaurants are good. The Four Seasons Hotel where I'm staying always is fantastic. So it's really a great, great experience. It's kind of like it became kind of a second home.
Sounds like Connecticut supports Canada as well and is ready to just go there, just be a part of Canada. So if you'd like Connecticut, it sounds like they're in play.
It's very interesting how big this country is. We're driving already 5,000 kilometers with 10 days in the road, and we're still in Canada. This is still one country. Yeah. If we compare them to Europe, you can go from Zurich to Munich, and it's going to be less than 500 kilometers, and you can visit 4 countries. Switzerland, Liechtenstein, Austria, and Germany. Here, 5,000, and you're still in Canada. Amazing.
Yeah. We could cross almost the whole Europe.
Yes, twice.
Yeah, welcome everybody to my channel, and if you're watching me for the first time, please consider subscribing to my channel, like my video, and don't forget to hit the notification bell so whenever I post you get notified. So folks, something remarkable is happening between Canada and Europe. And guess what? It says a lot about how the world sees Canada. For years now, Canada was known as America's neighbor, but something is changing. Europe is looking at Canada differently. Not simply as another country across the Atlantic, but as a country that shares many of the values, many of the priorities and principles Europeans recognize as their own. So, folks, in 2026, right now, the European Parliament called for an even stronger strategic partnership with Canada. And then came something even more surprising. New polling found that majority of the people in 5 major European countries, including Germany, Spain, and Poland, will support Canada joining the European Union. Think about that for a second. I mean, a country in North America being welcomed in a conversation about the European family. And perhaps the most powerful part is that Canada isn't trying to become Europe. Europe is simply recognizing something special about Canada. A country that can be powerful without constantly trying to prove it. A country that can stand firm while still believing in cooperation. A country that can be proudly Canadian while maintaining deep conversations with people around the world. And that's why Canada's relationship with Europe feels so different. I mean, it's not just about trade. It's not just about politics. It's about trust. Canada has built a reputation that travels far beyond its borders. And now Europe appears to be saying, "We see you." So, maybe Canada isn't just America's neighbor anymore. Maybe Canada is becoming something much bigger, a bridge between North America and Europe. And if this relationship continues to grow, the world may soon realize something Canadians have known for a long time. Canada doesn't need shouts to be respected. Sometimes respect speaks for itself. So, folks, I don't have much to say for today. We'll meet again in the next episode. Please, if you're new here, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel, like my video, and don't forget to hit that bell whenever I post to get notified. Until next time, folks, we'll meet again in the next episode. Thank you for watching.